waiting to get out of Britain that have been backed up for miles. People are stranded at airports as many countries impose stringent travel restrictions over concerns about a new strain of the COVID that authorities say may spread more easily. Apparently, there are a number of countries that have stopped air travel from the UK. France has banned trucks from the country for 2 days while they look into this new variant.
Gavin Newsom, by the way, is delivering his update on COVID-19 here in California. He's doing so from his library once again. He is in quarantine for 10 more days. A staff member tested positive yesterday. That staff member did come into contact with the governor and a few of other colleagues from the office. Newsom did test negative yesterday and is expected to be tested again in the coming days. His voice sounds raspy. Oh,
It does.
It always sounds.
It sounds a little bit raspier.
Does a little bit.
I thought so,
a little
yeah.
dry. Must be dry up there.
Your headphones are blinking.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh.
12:30 is when we go to Washington, check in on the swamp.
Drain the swamp. We're going to drain the swamp of Washington. We're going to have fun doing it. We're all doing it together.
What the fuck?
So we've talked about the investigation into Hunter Biden, his taxes, and otherwise. And it looks like the outgoing Attorney General William Barr disagrees with the president on how the investigation should be handled.
Man, he checked 3 boxes today that the president didn't want him to check. Catherine Faldrich joining us live from Washington, D.C. with the latest. This news conference from the Attorney General was actually about Pan Am 103, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And frankly, it was probably one of the last times, I'm thinking about it, that reporters would get to ask the Attorney General questions before he actually departs here in about 2 days, it seems. He is scheduled to have his last day on the 23rd. So you could imagine that he got questions about more than the topic of that actual news conference. And it was interesting. He broke with Trump multiple times. The president has been entertaining privately these ideas of appointing special counsels, one to investigate Hunter Biden and the Bidens, and two to investigate claims of widespread voter fraud for which really there has been no evidence. It's important to point out that the president can't just appoint a special counsel under the auspices of the Department of Justice. That would have to be the Attorney General. Well, he said today that if he thought a special counsel were appropriate, he would have named one, and he hasn't. That was his quote, and that's what he was asked about a special counsel as it relates to possible fraud in the election. He said he doesn't intend to appoint a special counsel to investigate President-elect Joe Biden's son, Hunter, either. So we haven't had a reaction from the White House yet. We know the president has been meeting with his attorneys, his former National Security Advisor, General Michael Flynn, who he pardoned. So look, we're still waiting to hear from him on that, but the two have butted heads on his way out the door. So it's still an open question about whether the current Deputy Attorney General, Jeff Rosen, who will replace Barr in 2 days, will appoint a special counsel, but I'm told by sources that I've been speaking to that is just not likely from the Department of Justice.
How does that work if, in fact, Jeff Rosen does appoint a special counsel? Would that hold over under a new administration? Does it work independently from whoever's in the White House?
Typically, I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios that would play out here. If Rosen were to do so, which I'm told by sources he isn't expected to, if he were to do something like that, it essentially makes the position, for lack of a better word, quote unquote, less fireable. For example, if one of the U.S. attorneys, if you wanted to appoint one of the U.S. attorneys, you could make them a special counsel, working at the Justice Department. But incoming Biden administration could take action against that. But there's a lot of questions surrounding how it will work. And then with the president saying that he could appoint a special counsel, my White House sources have told me that when the president is talking about that, he's talking about a quote-unquote special counsel working within the White House. That's just a term